Greetings, fellow Pope Defenders, and welcome back to another episode of Protestants Say the Darndest Things. Before we take a look at two bad Protestant arguments against our God-given faith, we need to talk about this. In Spain recently, a Catholic priest by the name of Father Custodio Ballester was arrested after criticizing the persecution of Christians in Islamic states. The European left-wing madness doesn't end there, unfortunately, as former Scottish Prime Minister, the first ever ethnically Pakistani Prime Minister Hamza Yusuf, has launched a Muslim forum to push the Islamic agenda in Europe. Now, many of you may remember that Hamza is the one that complained that Scotland was too Scottish, too white. So things may look pretty bleak in Europe right now, but here's one comforting thought. The left is losing political power. Next up, we see Orthobros up to their shenanigans again, and I wrote this in response. Anglicans and Eastern Orthodox frequently make the claim that Catholicism is either more liberal or that any day now the Catholic Church will adopt the same modernist positions they have. We see this with some continuing Anglicans often saying we are 20 years behind the Anglican Communion, and with the Orthobros claiming to hold to tradition, when about 100 years ago they both caved to liberalism on contraceptives and divorce. Let us also not forget Anglican female ordination started in the 1940s, more formally in the 80s and the 90s. And Eastern Orthodox in Africa have ordained deaconesses, something our Orthodox brothers in desperation try to compare to female altar servers, which obviously isn't the same thing, as we believe holy orders is a holy sacrament. In my view, it would be fair to compare Eastern Orthodox to Anglicans, but not Catholics on this. They have these same issues, while the Catholic Church remains unchanged on these issues mentioned. And finally, it's time for Protestants Say the Darndest Things. First up, we have Solar Chad saying that idolaters will not inherit the kingdom of God. Something Catholics 100% agree with. The only difference here is that Catholicism has actual worship of God in the unbloodied sacrifice of the Mass, while Protestants only venerate God. This leads to many Protestants mistakenly claiming we are idolaters when we just venerate religious images, something which is completely biblical. Next, we see Trevor Shetz saying Roman Catholicism, Mormonism, and Jehovah's Witnesses don't preach the gospel of Christ. They preach a damning counterfeit that preaches Jesus plus works rather than Jesus alone. Now, this is a straw man argument. It's also a common one we see especially from low church Protestants, and it can be easily answered by going to Ephesians 2:8-10. God includes works in our faith. Therefore, faith without works is dead.